Bonne is the title of the exhibition. A lot of people say that you are completely in charge of your own destiny, but there are actually a lot of luck factors in one's life. It's also about gamified spaces. In recent years, we can see how public spaces, how work situations, even at home, have been influenced by the mindset that video games have created for us. So we have a whole labyrinth here in the exhibition where you can get lost.
The exhibition is a bit like a virus. It spreads out to different parts of the museum. You find works where you don't normally expect them.
We have many different situations in this exhibition. We have everything from the pedestrian tunnel to the morgue next to us, to a fairground, a television studio, a scientist lab, a public toilet. There are many examples of gamified spaces in the exhibition. You have these situations where you have to choose, do you go left or do you go right? Will you win anything? Will you lose anything? You have the commercials in the pedestrian tunnel that are advertising for life insurances or lotto. You have the Wheel of Fortune that is spinning around with blinking light, but there are no numbers, no indications. So there you can't win or you can't lose. And of course you have the deserted office landscape with the grid of workstation booths where you see small leftovers of different personalities left before people had to go home and work from home.
Many of our installations create the beginning of a story. It gives hints to a narrative, but the audience have to complete the story. We use ready-mades wherever it's possible, but most of the time we find that we can't find the image of an object as we have it in our heads. So we end up customizing something that looks like a ready-made. It's quite a minimal language throughout the exhibition. It comes from our love-hate relationship to minimalism. We grew up in Scandinavia, so we were force-fed Arne Jacobsen and Wegner from birth. Of course it looks lovely and sleek, but we also know in a way how this kind of minimalism is based on a very monocultural look onto the world. Everyone has to behave the same, everyone has to fit into one system and in the end have one taste. And this is something we try to look at critically.
Many of our installations look almost like they're interactive, and then you realize you can't enter the space or you can't push the button, which creates a so-called denial. And you start to reflect on what is actually the function of the object that you look at.
Mikael and I come from performance. That's how we started working together. But we moved more and more towards sculpture and installation at some point. We were missing a little bit the human body, so we started to make realistic looking figures. But as you will see, these realistic figures, they are interacting with space, creating a situation where the audience become sort of a performer or co-act with this sculpture. Like our boy that makes a breath mark in the window leading out to the reception, and he draws the letter I, trying to find his own identity.